Good morning, you guys. Figure I'd just make a video real quick. Trying to figure out what to talk about. But I watched the movie last night with my wife. I watched the movie last night and it was called My Old Ass. The main character is 39 years old and I'm 35. And I felt some type of way. I was like, what? She ain't old. Um, I was internalizing that shit. But anyways, I watched this movie last night with my wife called My Old Ass. I've been wanting to watch it for a while. It's actually number three. It's number three on last night it was number three on Amazon's like top 10 movie list. And it was good. It was good. First and foremost, I want to say it was really good. I'm glad I watched it with my wife. It was good. I'm I, I'm the only one that actually finished it. You know what I'm saying? She had some calls that she took with her friends and family, and I was watching it, and I was watching it, and it was really good. It was really good. My cat would give me the death stare across this iPad. But anyways, it was really good. It started off with a group of friends. These three girls and our main character Elliot. She's leaving pretty soon, and so she's got things that she wants to do across around town. You know what I'm saying? There's this girl she likes, so she shoots her shot. That's one of the biggest things. That's one of the biggest things she wants to do when the movie starts. She's like, I'm about to leave soon. I'm about to head to the city. This girl I like, I really need to shoot my shot. And if I don't shoot my shot now, it's never gonna happen. You know the rest of her friends are like, okay. So they're on this boat. And it's pretty cool. This lake, and then she meets up with the girl. She shoots her shot, and then they're having a good time. And then at some point in the story, one of her friends has some mushrooms, and they they just go out to the woods in the dark, and then they just consume the mushrooms, and then it just starts from there. It really starts from there. I didn't realize there was going to be so much story, to this movie, which I really enjoyed. I thought it was going to be a lot more. No, it was silly. I ain't gonna say that. It was silly. It wasn't as silly as I expected it would have been, but it was a lot more layered than I thought it would have been. So let me get back to it. So her friends, they're all in the woods. It's dark. They're about surrounded. They're surrounded by this campfire, and so they take the mushrooms. And the star of our movie, Elliot, she's looking around at her friends, and she's like, she's talking. She's talking like she's really got all these thoughts about what the future is gonna hold. She's nervous, she's excited, she's all these things that anyone would be, being a teenager and about to leave, go off to college and do all that, right? So she's looking around at her friends and she's like, I don't know if this stuff is hitting me, man. I don't know if I have a good reaction to these mushrooms. And her friends, she's just talking and talking, and then her friends are like listening, they're listening, and then like we start to realize that they're kind of they start tripping out. They start tripping out, and she's looking she's looking around, and she's like, "Oh, wait a minute." And then the other friends are asking each other like, do you feel it?" And then they're just acting so weird, and they're like, "Nah, I don't know." And then they're just like grooving and dancing. And then Elliot, she's just looking around telling them, "I don't think these things are working for me. I don't think these mushrooms are working for me." So a little more time passes, and then she like looks to I guess the left of her, and she sees Aubrey. She sees Aubrey Plaza, which is the older version of her, and Aubrey tells her that, and she's like, "Okay, I'm tripping. These drugs are really working." And so they're going. So then they just go back and forth talking about now, the future, present, all that. And then it becomes a situation where Aubrey tells her all the do's and don'ts that she should, all the do's and don'ts that she should partake in. She's like, do this, don't do that, blah, blah, blah. and they're just going back and forth, and during this whole time they're in the woods, and she's like, hey, you're gonna have to avoid this, and this person's gonna come into your life, and but don't allow this person to be in your life, and you're gonna want to do this, but don't do that. And so it's actually really fun, man. They have a lot of fun in this movie. Aubrey and Maisie Stella, excuse me. She plays the younger Elliot, and Aubrey plays the older Elliot. So they're going back and forth, and it's such a total mind. It's such a total mind game because Audrey plays it up so well, and Stella plays it up so well. The older Aubrey, at the end of the night, at the end of the trip, their hallucinogenic trip, Aubrey like texts all this stuff to the younger Elliot, her younger self, and then like she's like reading it as a couple days pass, and she's reading it, she's texting back and forth, and the older the older version of Elliot, which is Aubrey, she like texts her all this information, and then after some time passes, I thought the younger Elliot was going crazy because she's like texting the older Elliot back and forth, and the older Elliot left her phone number in her phone, and then she calls her and she picks up, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, am I tripping? Like, is this gonna turn into a horror movie or something? Like, is she like losing her mind? Like, but it ended up being a very good, fun, coming of age, whimsical comedy. I would consider it like a comedy. It was good. She deals with some adversity along the way. She's a teenager, so like any teenager, she's just wrapped up in her own world too. There's that. And she's young, she's very hopeful, which gives the movie a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? It gives the movie a lot of hope, optimism, and that was awesome. That actress killed it. Maisie Stella killed it. She killed it as Elliot, and then Aubrey killed it. Aubrey Plaza killed it as the older Elliot, and I just really like that dynamic that they had. I was really trying not to mess up their names, but I really like that dynamic. Her friends were cool. You know, she was also trying to figure out how she could relate to her family. There's some big news that happens with her family after she's, kind of not so much self-absorbed with her own business. She starts to realize, oh, I have, my family is so important. My family is so important, and she always knew that, but at the same time, she, like I said, she's a teenager, so she's in her own world. She's about to leave, and she wants to say final goodbyes. She wants to say almost, her final words before she takes off and, you know, goes to the city. She wants to make sure she uh, ties loose ends. Yeah, that's what she wants to do. And it's a really good story, man. It's a really good story. It's very heartwarming. I didn't think it was going to be as heartwarming as it was. And yeah, man, it was great, man. The main actress, Elliot, the younger Elliot, she was fantastic. In Aubrey, she was fantastic too. I would definitely suggest this movie. It was, as she was tripping off the mushrooms, and we were tripping as audience members trying to figure out, okay, what is going on? Because I can't even tell you. I can't even tell you because you think it's all just in her head, but then it's yeah, it's it's really good, man. It's really good, and it psyched me out. That's one thing that made me kind of, I don't even know the word I'm trying to find for it, man. But that's one thing that kind of it threw me off, man. It threw me off, and it wasn't at first. I wasn't happy about being thrown off like that because I was just like, huh? What is this happening? Like what is going on? But it was good. After it was all over, I actually wanted to watch it again. It's one of those movies that you could watch again and have a good time with it. That's how good that movie was, and definitely one of my favorite um, Aubrey Plaza movies for sure, for sure. You know, I heard people bagging on Agatha. It makes me want to watch Agatha. You know, because she's gonna be in the woods in that one too. You know, she has some scenes where she's like a mythical um, witch or something like that. You know, so um, yeah, but this was good though. Check it out if you like this type of movie. You know, you should check it out.